This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
We all have a line that runs down the middle of our heart. That line separates monsters from men. We're looking for two boys. And I think those boys stumbled across a monster.
Sylvia Washington, FBI.
See bad spirits around.
You spent your life helping others.
Tried to run from the things that I've done.
But your life is a lie.
I feel my time running out.
I need you to tell me everything.
I say, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
Is everything okay?
You're that guy you were telling me about. He's a person of interest in the murder.
That man is a monster.
There's no such thing as monsters. There's just people who do bad things.
I say, Lord,
I'm going to enjoy this.
mercy on my soul.
And other people do bad things. So stop them.
I say, Lord, have mercy on my soul.
It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. It's a jacked up review show. Jacked up review show.
Welcome all. So we are for a summary of season 2 and 3 of Dark Winds. We previously covered the first season, so if you feel eager, by all means check that one out. So, long story short, we've decided, hey, let's just sum this up and then do an awesome interview with fellow cast member from season 3. But so yeah, just getting to the sweet and narrow. Basically, season 2 amped up the stakes of the very stellar first season, where it was set in the 70s, and it adapted the beloved Tony Hillerman book characters, Sheriff Joe Lee Porm and Officer Jim Chi. In this version, Chi has previously worked for the FBI, and this is set during the 70s, but this was intriguing because he basically decides to become a cop after dealing with the corruption in the feds. And as a result, we also see Joe Lee Porm struggle with his inner demons. There's more of him not only running his, New Mexico police station, up in Santa Fe, but also just learning to be a better husband. He's just not doing it. He's just bringing all this guilt and trauma home, and it's impacting his wife, who's basically like, are we actually going to hang out, or am I going to basically just cook everything and you're just going to come home and, drive us crazy? Hard men, hard times. And so we also have, the excellent Bernadette. She's a female deputy, and I got to speak to Ann Hillerman, the author of the later Hillerman franchise, and the daughter of the late author, and she talked about how it's like that was, if anything, that was the main thing this show took away from her contributions was not only just have a progressive Navajo noirish mystery, but make sure that Bernadette actually gets to, Bernadette actually is her name, but she actually gets to be a part of the story. She's basically a secretary in those earlier books, and here, she goes from being a deputy and later on ends up joining the border patrol, and then finds out there's some drug smuggling scandals there. So season 2 amped up the stakes from season 1. I really dug how Lee Porm, not only were the other two trying to find themselves and make transitions in their lives, but it was awesome seeing him go after some violent criminals after they attack the chief, played by A. Martinez, a beloved TV icon who you've seen on basically every TV show or soap. And then he ended up having this violent businessman. He left him to die in the desert, and it ended up haunting him. So then that led us into season 3. And I was severely let down by season 3. It just wasn't able to amp up the stakes. And unfortunately, the lead writer of this noted how they were going for noir in those earlier seasons and decided to go for kind of a monster movie to kind of capitalize on AMC's other programming like The Walking Dead. That is in the showrunner John Wirth's own words. And previously, he's written for Nash Bridges, Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, Wu Assassins, Remington Steel, of all things. Yeah, he's been another guy who's worked in TV a lot. V, Hap and Leonard, Hell on Wheels, Falling Skies. You name it. Once again, Chris Iyer, who has previously adapted a lot of Tony Hillerman's material for PBS, as well as other powerful and indie mystery movies, has some excellent direction. Some of the other guest directors returned. We even got to see producers Robert Redford and George R.R. Martin make a cameo in the pilot episode of season 3. Not the pilot, the premiere episode. And the only thing that felt off to me was seeing Jenna Elfman as the special FBI agent who's basically a bureaucrat, not letting the sheriff do everything he needs to do. I don't know, just the way they framed her, it just was kind of bizarre. Just a bizarre casting decision. Nothing against her. I like her as an actress. It's just one of those I'm like, okay. So, yeah, as it went on, it just felt like it just kind of was it was scattershot 1 minute, then it was too in your face, then it took too long getting to the damn point. So, again, I love these characters. I'd love to see more adventures with them. Season 3 was a letdown for me. But season 2 is absolutely the best season of the show so far. Like, it had the perfect atmosphere. It had some great villains in that and killer suspense. And this one just really it broke the bridge. It was a train that went off the tracks. It was not organized at all. A lot of the connected dots just didn't ring true at all, and that's a shame. I just expected better from the show. And so, again, still great seeing A. Martinez as the chief. I hope he sticks around with this because it is a very progressive show, showing the travel culture being met with respect, as Zahn has put it, the lead star who plays Jolie Porn. And I think that's kind of been the cool thing too, is just seeing so many of the same actors who are on Reservation Dogs and Longmire. This is the sister show. These are all sister shows of each other. Not only just indigenous heavy, but also just great shows in their all rights. And so Zahn got to be behind the camera, so that's cool. And don't get me wrong, the acting was fine. I was just disappointed by it's not at all unwatchable or awful by any means, but every show has a lesser season. But don't take my word up for it. You go ahead and decide what you want to do with the show, but I think most people are going to be blown away by it and be like, man, that was excellent. So by all means, check out the rest of this interview with Alonso Rappa, who played one of the season 3 baddies, and you're going to be blown away by how he details all the staging, all the sides, all the just day-to-day working lifestyles, and how everyone's got to be measuring up to greatness. You're going to be blown away by it, and also find some of his other Hollywood adventures inspiring. So check out the rest of the episode, guys. First off, Alonso, welcome to the show. How you been?
Are we good? Good.
Glad we've
Cool.
got to finally do this.
I know. It's been a while. Sorry, I've been all over.
You're getting gigs. That's great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Alonso, he's been killing it. He's been doing short films for a while. Just got cast on season 3 of Dark Winds as the villain Ernesto, and man, you killed it on there. But let's draw back the curtain. Let's go back a bit to where it all began. So you have so many skills. You're represented by Crossbeam Talent, and you trained at the Howard Fine Acting Studio and Katy College, which is a wonderful place. I always light up each time I pass it on the highway. So what began the interest in this profession?
Yeah, man. From an early age, I've enjoyed being a storyteller and just telling stories, especially jokes and like just things that would happen to me throughout the day, and just getting home or even getting to school and telling my friends about it or my family about it. And yeah, I mean, acting and filmmaking became this outlet to make this happen, to share it to a bigger audience. And yeah, I just found myself being able to tell stories, maybe not my own personal stories, but like written stories, and being able to embody this character or characters, and yeah, tell a story with other people.
Wonderful. So one of your mentors at the University of New Mexico was Julie Hindren. How was that experience?
Yeah, she was my professor,
Okay.
my theater professor. Yeah, I had her for 2 semesters, I think, when I was in UNM in Albuquerque. And yeah, I mean, it's a complete different world and story, theater from acting and television and film. But I was accustomed to film and television, and coming into theater for the first time was eye-opening, and just it was a great tool to add to my toolbox, just because you get to be louder, be bigger. And the exercises that were done in those classes, I think, shaped me to be able to take risks in either auditions or on set while doing film and television. And yeah, I mean, it was more than anything eye-opening. But if you want to dive into mentors, I would say my mentor is John Forbes. He and I met him in Albuquerque when I was living there for the first time. And
Oh wow!
yeah,
The
it was
Iowa state representative.
I think I don't know how I think he's in India right now, so he has representation over there. But I think at the time, I think
Oh,
he
so
was
a businessman.
No,
No.
no, he's also an actor.
Oh,
He's also
okay.
an actor.
Okay, I see
Yeah.
him now.
Yeah. Sorry. And
Broadway actor. Okay,
I think
shoot.
he's also a historical figure. I think I looked him up once and I was like, oh, anyway, like the name John Forbes. And either way, anyways,
It was so
yeah,
wild. The politician came up for a second. I'm like, wait, that
yeah,
can't
yeah,
be who you're
that
talking
one.
about.
That's what I said. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I've met him in Albuquerque. So I get to Albuquerque and I'm like, okay, how do I network? How do I meet people besides school and besides of work or whatever? And I go on Instagram and I just start looking through hashtags. New Mexico film actors, New Mexico this, Albuquerque this. There's a Netflix studio over there, so looking into that. And I see a post from a guy named John Forbes, actor, and I'm like, okay. And I looked at his profile. He's in Albuquerque. He's an actor. So I was like, you know what? I'll just ask him a few questions. So I sent him a message. I asked him a few questions. We go back and forth. And I guess a few months later, he became my coaching mentor for auditions, and just trying to get me started in this business, because I was very green at the time. I was still in college and still trying to figure out how to get into the business. And he helped me get through it. He gave me some classes, some insight, some of his personal experience, and I would say a year later, I landed an agent in New Mexico. At the time, it was Swag Talent Group, and now she's my manager. So she transitioned from agency to manager. So she's my manager now. And of course, like you mentioned, I'm with Crossbeam Talent Agency as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, John and me go way back. So like I told you, and he still coaches me to this date. We actually had a coaching session last night. He helps me with auditions, and yeah, just a great friend and mentor. I'm super grateful for John.
Okay, wonderful. And so you've gone through, it doesn't sound like many detours, but just a bunch of different adventures, just one after the next. So what would you say was the biggest difference, though, between being on a short film
Right.
versus, a big scale TV production?
Well, look, I did start with the short films, like you mentioned, just because I was super green, and I mean, it's hard to trust someone with not so much experience, to have them on a big set. So obviously, I had to start with short films. They're fun, low budget, if any budget, and I started doing them in college for thesis assignments and capstones, they call them. And they're great for exposure, like I said, for networking. These films usually go into film festivals and have runs, and the people that you meet eventually down the road, they become actors, producers, writers, so they come around. But yeah, the biggest difference is obviously the scale, the budget compared to big TV shows like Dark Winds, distributed by AMC, who also did The Walking Dead, Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, all these huge shows that changed television. Yeah, the scale, the budget, obviously. There's lunch, there's breakfast, lunch, and dinner sometimes, and
Got to
yeah,
probably get to set a little earlier, probably.
yeah,
show.
you have to get some breakfast, yeah. And yeah, the time, I mean, in short films, it's very, very fast paced because you only have a few days. But in a TV show, you have, I don't know, 10, 12 days for an episode. So it's kind of spaced out a little bit more. A lot more crew, obviously, a lot more crew, because in short films, you have the first AD doing a million different jobs, you know what I mean? And in a TV show with a high budget, everyone sticks to their own job. They even get mad if you like try to do their job, which is sometimes
Sure.
funny. They're just trying to help, and they're like, no, which I respect.
Director
But
McGarris once referred to them as like the assistant executive producer. They can override the director if they are getting behind, and they report at the studios like, yes, everything is running perfectly, or
right.
So and so is not listening to any reason. We need someone outside to come in here, and
Yeah, exactly. It's more individual. Yeah, there's the budget for that,
Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's lovely. And you didn't feel like you're getting kind of rushed into this. You're just like, yeah, okay, so I'm seeing the blunt truth of this all here, all right now, that there's no sugarcoating this. I want to do this, but now I know that there's not much compromise, and I now know what it is I need to know.
Are you talking about Dark Winds?
Oh, just in general, just like you've done all these theses, you tested it out, you now know, hey, I just gotta worry about me, be a man of my word.
Oh no, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I love doing this, and if the opportunity is there, I'll take it if it's something that I will feel proud of doing, and that is worth telling a story about. but yeah, if I commit, I'll do it. Like I said, um, Dark Winds, for example. I didn't know I was gonna do all these crazy stunts, like being upside down, hanging, and like going into a culvert. So like in the audition, I do the audition, right, and then
Mm-hmm.
I send it over. I don't hear back for a few days. That's the way it is, sadly. And then I hear back, and they're like, "We have a few questions for you." I'm like, "Okay," and they're like, "Are you comfortable being upside down inside a narrow culvert?" I was like, "What?"
You're gonna have to relay what is it you mean? What?
And I was like, yeah, sure. And then they're like, okay, second question. And I was like, oh, there's more. Are you comfortable being 6 to 7 hours in a makeup chair with heavy prosthetics? And I was like, sure. I mean, yeah. And yeah, fast forward, not even a month. I think just a matter of weeks. I was I was on set, upside down, covered in prosthetics. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely commitment that has to go in before you even arrive to set.
When you got interviewed for that by MSN, were you just kind of just geeking out? You're like, I'm glad to be getting all these interviews, but would have never known,
I know. Yeah, like it's the way it is. You don't know what you're gonna get, or what's gonna happen. For example, like I said, this was supposed to be a 2 episode thing,
Hmm.
where they introduced my character Ernesto Cata, and yeah, they find him dead. Lee Porn and Gordo Senna, the two characters, they find him dead upside down in a culvert, and that's where the prosthetics come into play. And yeah, that was supposed to be like I said, two episode thing. And then as they were filming the season, I guess they were writing it as well, and they decided to bring me back in, flashback scenes to kind of tell the story of what happened, of how Ernesto Cata ended up upside down in that culvert. So yeah, you don't know what's ever gonna happen or gonna be thrown at you as an actor.
Well, and how are you liking the challenges? Because it's keeping it fresh and new, but you still got to be on your game every day and adjust to changes, sometimes last minute while on set. Uh, but at this young an age, you're just liking just getting as much experience as you can right now, or uh, are you having to kind of just adjust a bit? Just kind of illustrating it for others because there's so many people who that's
Yeah.
why you hear about many of them feeling overwhelmed because there's very little time to rest and you got to keep hustling even when on your off days.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think there's definitely some adjusting. I'm not gonna say, oh no, like I've been ready from the first day, but I think the adjusting comes into play right before I even book the job. Through auditions. Auditions are very fast paced, and the turnaround is super quick. They want an audition paid back within a day, sometimes, or within 2 days. So
Hmm.
the adjusting comes way before that. Even callbacks, when you're super close to landing the job, you get a callback. It's a live audition, and you're just there waiting in the waiting room. You don't know for how long sometimes.
Oh
So
man, so just clear
yeah,
up the calendar or try
it's
not to book it on the same day. Yeah.
right. But yeah, no, I mean, on set, when things change, and they will change, and they change all the time. Sometimes even you go into set thinking you got your lines down, and then you open your trailer and there's a new set of sides. There's a new script with a different scene and different lines. So you're like, oh, so now I have to just forget about everything I learned last night or this morning and just focus on the new material, stuff like that. And it's physical too. I mean, it's long hours sometimes when they're night shoots, when the scene is at night. They start the day at 8 9 p.m. We shoot all night, and then we wrap around 8 a.m. Those 12 hours, just so that we can get the whole night to shoot. So there's a lot of adapting too. And Yeah,
Gotcha.
sometimes I'm like driving back to the hotel or home, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I just did that, or like I'm tired, but I'm happy to have done it, and I'm I'm not that old, I'm kind of young,
Yes.
so I'm like I can take this. I should be able to take this. I should be able to stay awake all night.
What were some of your fun recreational activities? There's been innumerable at this point, documentaries showing how, like any job, you gotta have something fun outside of the business. You can't
Right.
just be going from one gig to the next, not living life. But what would have been some of your hobbies that you might recommend for others that are easy to work
Yeah.
in?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, acting for me and like storytelling, being on set is heaven. Like if I could be there 20 hours a day, I would, or at least I think I would. I don't know. I would have to try that out. But when I get off set, I enjoy golfing. I really like golfing, and which is an old man sport, but I wanna get a head start
No one
on
really loses. It's just kind of
it.
just fun, kind of like pool table and bowling.
Yeah.
I can relate to that. It is fun. What were some of the things you did growing up in both El Paso and Ciudad Juarez?
Yeah. So I grew up in the border. El Paso is a border town with Juarez, like you
Mhm.
mentioned, and I had family on both sides, and I got to experience both cultures and both languages. I am bilingual, and yeah, it's such a unique place to grow up because I had to go to school. I was lucky enough to go to school in El Paso because there's a lot of kids that live in Juarez in Mexico and cross the border every morning to go to school and then cross back in the afternoon to go back home,
Okay.
as well as working people that worked on either side of the border. But I was lucky enough to live in El Paso, go to school in El Paso, and then occasionally visit Ciudad Juarez to see my father on that side. And yeah, I mean, like I said, experiencing both sides, both countries, even in one day, it sounds super crazy. Like waking up in the U.S. and then going to a soccer game in Juarez with my father, and then having some food, Mexican food in Juarez, and then thinking, wow, I'm gonna go to sleep in El Paso tonight. And yeah, sure enough, I would cross the border and I'd be home by 10 p.m. Sleeping in the U.S. It sounds crazy looking back at it, but yeah, I had friends on both sides, family on both sides, uh, things to do on both sides, and it just felt like one big city. Honestly, just different infrastructure and different languages and food, but yeah, it was amazing growing up there.
Nice. And you had just many friends and family who were into this in general and kind of encouraging you, like, hey, that should totally be a movie. Hey, you should totally work on a show like that.
um, nothing really happened film wise, filmmaking wise while I was there. It all happened when I left to New Mexico for college. That's where
Ah,
I
gotcha.
kind of opened my eyes to that world and met other filmmakers and other creatives that pushed that idea and introduced that idea to me. And I was like, wow, that's actually a perfect outlet for me to tell all these stories. Like I said.
Wait, okay. Well, that's a start. Okay. So, and would you like to work behind the camera as well, or is it just kind of up in the air?
No, definitely. I am happy you mentioned this. This past weekend, I had my directorial debut with a short film that I produced and wrote. It's a mockumentary about cancel culture. It's called Cancel Cultured, and it follows a group of Gen Z vigilantes that get together once a week and discuss new targets, new people to cancel. And yeah, I got to write that and direct that this past weekend, and it's
So
definitely something
basically,
that
these
I
guys are like, we're going beyond the law. This person wronged us.
yeah, exactly. And yeah, it was super fun to get to experience that and like being able to decide if I want to do this again or not, and I definitely want to. I just think that at this point in age and in my career, I think it's more It's more important for me to stick to acting as of right now, and then as
You
I get
got
older
time, and then you can work
and
on it.
get more time, yeah, I can direct and write some more. But yeah, it's definitely, I think it's definitely where I want to end up, directing and writing.
Okay, very neat. Um, and why do you think you after acquiring all these skills, why do you think you'll stick with it for a while? Well, what was just the day where you woke up and you're just like, I'm here to stay now. Like, I now know why I've gone this far, why I've had this fortunate opportunity, and everyone's speaking my language. Like, this is wonderful, and I gotta stay.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, even like leaving high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. My dad would ask me, "Hey, do you want to, I don't know, be in an office?
And it's
Do you
always
want
at
to?"
awkward times where you're like,
Yes.
give
Like,
me
I don't
5
know.
minutes. I really don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
Give me a few months. Like, I don't know. And it's crazy, don't you think? Like asking, what is it, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds leaving high school, hey, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? It's a crazy question, and I think it's just something that they have to figure out. We have to figure out as we get older, and just trying new experiences, which is exactly what I did. And I landed on in a time and place where I was fortunate to meet other filmmakers and be introduced to this world, like I said. And sorry, I stick to it. Every day from then on, I've been, on top of news, on top of writing, on just networking and meeting new people. And that's exactly how I got to be where I'm at right now, networking and asking those questions, being curious. And those people will, direct you to where you're supposed to go. And yeah, that's how I've been doing it. I think right now I'm in a good place, but I still need to make those questions. I still need to make those connections, even maybe even in a higher level with people with more power in the industry. That's where I'm at right now. But yeah, there's no plan B. People sometimes ask me, "Hey, what are you gonna do if this doesn't work out?" I'm like, "It has to work out. It's been working out, and it has to work out because I don't plan on doing something else, anything else. No plan B here."
Hey, wonderful. See, you're going to stick to the road. That's awesome. And
Yes, sir.
you know that there's many roads you can take. It's not just one. As are there any other just for anyone else getting into this, what do you think is like key? Because most people will stick with, I'll try to get a production assistant or, answer mail and see what
Mhm.
happens. What do you think is probably the most key and for landing these auditions and getting into the industry?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's different ways to get into it. I think there's two different um, paths for sure. If you want to become a director and you start as a PA, or you want to be an actor and start as an extra doing background. There's no set path. There's no set set of rules or anything that you should follow to get there. But there is definitely, like I said, people, and you ask those questions. You ask the person whose job you want or a similar job you
Mhm.
want. You ask them, "Hey, how did you get here?" And their path is not going to be something that you can follow to the T, but it's definitely an inspiration. And I think
Gotcha.
just being as much as you can on a set or doing something to get closer to a set will keep you there or will eventually take you there.
What do you think is a good way to just kind of keep the momentum up when you're on set? And, some people want to be left alone, be in their trailers. Other people want to just kind of do some rehearsing in a different room. What do you think is the best use of your personal time while you're waiting for people to get the shots and you still got 6 hours before you actually get called?
Right. If it were up to me, I would be behind the camera and just hang out with the crew. And it doesn't matter if my scene is a few hours down the day or down the road. But yeah, sometimes it feels like they just lock you in your trailer so that you're not bothering someone else, so that you're not a hassle. There's PAs outside the trailer just there. I mean, babysitting and ready to get you out of the trailer, take you to makeup, or to set. But I think for me personally, it's a good time if I'm locked in a trailer to obviously go over lines and just be grateful. I don't like distracting myself because I could be like, oh, I'll just watch a TV show right now, or do this, or go
There's always
online
something to do, and there's always other
right.
gigs to book.
Yes, exactly. So, I just want to be grateful and stay focused. I think that's the main thing, focused, because I don't want to go and distract myself, watching YouTube or scrolling on social media and then, oh, it's go time, and then, oh, what are my lines?
Someone else sees that and they're like, oh, see, why is he here? He's goofing off. No, that's
Exactly.
awesome. So it sounds like ultimately, though, the biggest thing that's landed is you got the experience this young in age, and you're not. There's really nothing that's going to surprise you as much from this point on. It's like it can't be any different than that set or this set, and my agent's shielding me, making sure I'm on a professional set every time.
Right. Yeah, definitely. I think you're absolutely right about that. I think for me the biggest takeaway is that I can be trusted a lot more, just having this experience under my belt and having done the time. So whenever I arrive to another set, they can be assured that I will, be a professional, that I know how to be a professional, and just they can trust me, that I can be trusted.
Lovely. Well, you got our trust, buddy, and I seriously hope you land another great gig. And it when you finally have seen Dark Winds, where you're just kind of blown away, is like, yeah, I might not be as featured as the days were, but I know that I'm gonna still feature heavily in the overall narrative.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I knew what I was on the page, and it changed a lot on the screen. But just super happy to be part of that family.
Big production, and
Yeah, sir.
I had to even introduce some other people into it, and it's so funny. It's like they know Tony Hillerman, as we had his daughter, who's only a consultant on the show, on as well, and
Yeah.
it is amazing how, again, this premise has evolved throughout the years, and you're having to tell people, is like, hey, no, it's not just an elderly person show. It's not just a typical crime show. It's a lot of psychological stuff.
Right. Yeah, for sure. When it's been under the radar for a few years, and then when it hit Netflix last year, that's kind of where a lot of more people got to watch it, and
You don't
and
have
really,
cable. Where else are you gonna find it?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And we all have Netflix, so yeah, it was a good moment, a good time for the show when it hit Netflix.
Lovely. So yeah, you heard the man. If you want, and you're waiting on that next season, but still need to catch up, go ahead and check it out on there, and you won't be let down, guys. There's something for everybody. There's suspense. There's some visceral moments. There's some exploration of unusual villains, and it's contrasted against the 70s with today's level of crime fighting and foul play. And I applaud Zahn McClernon, and all these other cool cats. I was able to interview one of the other cast members who played the witch villain in season 1, and she just joked how basically it was Reservation Dogs 2.0. There was a lot of the same cast members on both, but it didn't feel like a narrow margin. It just felt perfect. And they're like, yeah, we're coming onto here, and we're gonna play different kinds of characters.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, I think Bodhi is one of them. He plays
Yes.
the younger version of Zahn's character in Reservation Dogs, and then on Dark Winds he plays George Bowlegs, and he's the other kid that my character Ernesto has scenes with. But yeah, there's definitely
Young Big.
there's a crossover with Reservation Dogs.
And he's had a good career too. He was on I Know This Much Is True.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, good guys.
Yep. Good show. Okay, man. Hey, thank you for taking an hour of your time. And you were pumped. You're just like, yeah, let's let's party on this. But I sincerely hope your next few bookings, are way easier now that you got so much stuff to lean on. And it is kind of wild, don't you think? Kind of side epilogue question, how now that you've demonstrated and now that you've been on a big production, half the time if they're not looking at auditions, they're also looking at just names. Hey, if they're on this big kind of production, they can handle our production.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, like I said, it goes back to trust. Yeah, having these credits will definitely push my career forward, and I will definitely make sure that it goes that way. Trying to leverage what I've got.
There's no need to try. You'll get it. You got this.
Yes, sir.
But hey, no, I'm glad you're enjoying the experience and the payoff. There's less there's less suspense. It's like, okay, cool. I know what to navigate now.
Definitely, it can't get worse than this.
Yeah. There's no limit to the sky. You're going upward.
Yes, sir. Yep. I have Sovereign coming up next month. Premieres in Tribeca, June 8th in New York City. I will be there with the rest of the cast: Dennis Quaid, Jacob Tremblay, Nick Offerman, and it will hit theaters June 20th. So yeah.
So for those that don't know, that's a real life story about a father and son who identified as sovereign citizens, and which was an anti-government extremist team. It comes out in 2025 this year. So yeah, man, hey, great gig. Produced by Briarcliff Entertainment, which is by the Open Road crew. So very nice.
Yeah, Briarcliff, they did The Apprentice with Sebastian Stan and a few other films. Yeah, super excited for that.
They just acquired Magazine Dreams, which is
yep, with Jonathan, right?
Yep. And that's lovely. I did Kandahar, which was the Gerard Butler political spy thriller. Yeah, I always applaud some of these other indie production companies. It's like, yeah, I guess there was Styx Media, there was a few other ones, and I would see their names pop up, and then they book deals with AMC, Lionsgate, Fox, and I'm like, wow, okay. I like that there's these in between kind of B crowd kind of stuff. It's like
but hybrids.
Hybrids, yeah. Offshoots, yeah. Hey, no, good deal. And I'm sure you found the challenge of, people want to ask you certain questions, and it's like, I cannot answer. I am bound by the NDA.
Y'all can try.
2 months I can answer that. You can ask me about the experience, but I cannot give you any story details at all.
I mean, look, I will say it was shot in Arkansas last year. Great cast, heavily cast. It was an amazing cast, as you may know already.
Nancy Travis. Nice.
Yeah, so I kind of like I was on set, and then these guys come into set. And I'm like, okay, I really have to step up my game, and I'm not gonna get close to their level, but I can try.
As long as you give them something, that people. You've heard it before, where actors will get in a dispute because if you're not matching their energy, you're just having someone who's just not really focused, and that's the only time you get any conflict. But
yeah, Definitely, yeah. Just let them know. It's important to let them know that you're present and that you're ready for anything that they want to do or they want to, happen, or they want to
It's
get.
just like any job, you know. Do you want to be the guy who's doing push-ups and helping a grip, you know, rearrange lights, or do you want to be the guy who's on TikTok saying, "Hey, everybody," you know?
Yeah, just match their energy and make sure they can trust you. Everything goes down to trust. It's crazy, everything, and especially in this business, you don't want to be seen as someone that's too green to be on set. You know, you want to make sure they know that you're ready. And
very nice, man. Hey, once again, you got this.
thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Sky's no longer the limit. Once again, you know, you. Hey, this was a delight once again, and you know, there's still opportunity to have flashbacks of your character in Dark Wind season 4. We'll see, but
fingers crossed. They're filming right now, so I have the phone close by.
Well, and I applaud, though, you know, just getting these other opportunities. And you think you'll ever return to short films, or?
Yeah, no, never say never. I enjoy doing short films, especially if the story is compelling and the people behind the story are also compelling. I will do it. Yeah, gladly.
Excellent. Okay, man. Hey, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll update you on when this hits.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for taking the time and making this happen. Appreciate you.
Thank you for back and forth communication. Yeah, I can tell. You're focused. All eyes on the prize.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anytime.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up